All right, everybody, what is going on? Good late afternoon, or edging into the evening now, I guess. And we've got a few more linebackers to get through here, just kind of the final little bits here. The second half of day three, so late day three. And yeah, there isn't a lot of intrigue around this, so let's just go ahead and get through it. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks, more on them later. Let's open up with not that Justin Jefferson, a different Justin Jefferson, Alabama linebacker, couldn't find his age. He is undersized, but he does have okay arm length, and he tested quite well. He's fast, he's explosive. There's some good stuff there. ESPN has him in the fifth or late, very, very early sixth, I guess that would be. Aggregate puts him in the mid sixth. So had 85 tackles, 6.5 for loss, 3 sacks last year, 5 passes defensed. Those some decent numbers, but wasn't a big breakout performance the way some people thought he could have maybe had in 2025. He's got good feel for the game. He reacts well, gets to where he needs to get to make the play pretty well. He will be good on special teams as well, I think, so you're at least getting that. He's got decent speed. He's got smooth movement skills, so he can chase a play even as the play will go in unexpected and unplanned directions. He makes a good number of plays in coverage. He's a pretty good cover linebacker, and he even has a little bit going on as a blitzer, although it is a little bit limited. Now, at the end of the day, we are talking about an undersized player that doesn't have a lot of pop or strength or power. Blockers eat him up. Even though he has okay length, he still can't really get off the blockers. He doesn't really have pass rush moves. He just wins with by either being unblocked or by just kind of sneaking through. He doesn't really have like an actual repertoire. And he trusts his instincts. And when he gets it wrong, he is way out of the play. And even though he's a good cover player, smarter quarterbacks know how to fool him with their eyes and then get him off the spot and then go to where they need to go. So there are some issues here with Justin Jefferson, but overall, this is not bad, man. This is not bad. This is a good, athletic, undersized linebacker, kind of standard in that area. Good instincts, though. I don't mind this one. I like this one pretty decently well. I'd go fifth rounder. Maybe something will click at the next level beyond what we've seen so far. All right. Jack Kelly of BYU is our next guy here. This is another one of those potential hybrids. He could be a linebacker, could be an edge, could be both. BYU, 23. He is decently sized for linebacker work. As an edge, he would be undersized. His arms are kind of short, but he tested fairly well. Good 40, good vert, good broad, good 20-yard shuttle at least. So he did have some good testing results. Big boards, mostly like sixth. The Draft Network loves him, by the way. They have him in the third, but he looks like a sixth round pick according to the aggregate right now, so we go with that. And you can see not overwhelming numbers, but he makes a lot of his plays in the backfield, and that's because he plays part of his job at edge. 13.5 tackles for loss out of 55 tackles is really good. 10 sacks. Not great PFF scores, but you can see the production here. So this is another one of those guys that could be that hybrid. He hits with violent force to get off blockers. He's a violent player. He should be a very good special teamer. So even if you don't get a great defender, you're going to get somebody that can be a good special teamer. He's got good athletic prowess. He can cover ground quickly. He can cover a wide range of space. And he does have a knack for making plays in the backfield. Do you like sports? If you do, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players' projections and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. I've had a great time using Prize Picks so far. It makes this daily fantasy thing so easy and fun, and it even makes watching the games way more exciting. And with the cool social feeds feature, you can share lineups with your friends and even follow partners to tail or fade their picks. Obviously, we're in the NFL offseason right now, but we've got basketball, baseball, hockey, all kinds of other stuff, so don't be afraid to test things out in whatever sport clicks with you. You can even pick multiple sports in the same lineup and sweat everything at once. And don't forget about team picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So, download Prize Picks, America's #1 sports app. And don't forget, Code HMA, that is HMA, gives you $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. So, plenty of stuff to like with Jack Kelly, but his reaction times, especially as an off-ball linebacker, definitely a little behind where you'd like. He could end up kind of getting stuck in the middle where he's not quite an off-ball linebacker and not quite an edge, which would mean that there's nothing he can really do. When his punches don't land, he gets stuck on blockers because he does have the shorter arms. He's not a great tackler either, and I don't know if there's a lot he can do about that. And he doesn't seem to have a great grip of things like angles when trying to come in and make plays against the run. So this one's hard. He could end up being really useful as a utility player, or he could end up not really being able to do anything. I don't know which way this goes, but there's some fun here. So I go late fourth, early fifth. I'm kind of into this. I think this has a chance of working out, and if it does, you're getting something nice. Maybe somebody that can occupy two different defensive roles and a special teams role. Next up, we have Red Murdoch of Buffalo. This is going to be your resident, very small school stat hog. 22 years old. He is a little undersized, but for the modern game, not really. Arms are pretty short, though. Big hands. Sixth round, fifth round, a little bit here and there on the big boards. Aggregate puts him in the sixth. Does have a ridiculous amount of production over the last 2 years, 300 tackles. What is this? 30 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. I mean, it's out of this world. 13 forced fumbles. This guy's kind of a beast. He was beasting it up at Buffalo. 91.2 PFF grade last year. You're not going to find another guy who gets tackles like this guy. The numbers speak for themselves. He's always in the backfield. He's constantly getting his way into the backfield. He's got contact balance, so he can take on a blocker without getting pushed out of the play. It's almost like a running back with contact balance. He loves to force fumbles. You're not going to find a better forced fumble guy than this. And even though he's undersized, he lays good wood and force on contact with a ball carrier. Now, we are talking about a small school here. We are talking about Buffalo. We are talking about lesser competition. And he's not really a good athlete. Like, he's not fast. He doesn't move well. He's just kind of able to excel because of the level of competition. He's messy in coverage. He gets lost in coverage, makes a lot of mistakes, doesn't read and react very well. Which sounds weird because of all the tackles he has. And the way that he plays, I think the size is going to be a problem. He needs to be a bit bigger if he wants to play like this. So, I mean, the production is there, but physically, it's just not really what you want. So, I don't think he's going to make it. I go 6th round pick. You could have a little bit of fun experimenting. Maybe you can get him to force some fumbles for you, but other than that, I don't know. Final guy this year for the linebacker group is going to be Lander Barton of Utah, 22. Yes, related to Cody Barton. And there was a point in time where it looked like he was going to maybe even be a day 2 pick in this draft, but he has fallen off pretty hard. He is very tall. He's lean. He's not that heavy, but he's got a lot of height, so he could add weight. Arm length is good. So right away, we're like, oh, we got that. Walter has him in the 4th, as does CBS. So there are some people that still really like him, but the aggregate has him in the 7th. Didn't have a great 2025. Tackles were down. PFF grade was way down. Didn't make as many plays in coverage. Just kind of a down year, so that's kind of why we're here right now. His 2024 was pretty decent, but even then, it still wasn't like... It wasn't popping off the page here, right? So Lander Barton didn't quite break out the way people were thinking. Still an interesting player on some level. He'll be able to add weight. He'll be able to pack on some pounds. He's got some good cover skills. He can be a good man linebacker. He can be a good zone linebacker. I think that's kind of what you're looking at Lander Barton as, if anything, a cover linebacker. He's good at reading and reacting to run plays as well. He's got good diagnosis skills when he's looking at an opposing offense. And he can give blockers fits with his heavy hands. He can really get in there and land a punch. Now, the movement skills are not stellar. He's mostly a linear athlete. Once you ask him to actually like change direction and move unpredictably and react to what is going on in front of him, not so great. He makes mental mistakes in coverage still, which is an issue if he's going to be a cover linebacker. He doesn't have a very high success rate against blocks. He doesn't successfully move off of them. And he's not that strong. He doesn't have the power. He doesn't have the pop. Not a lot of strength. So kind of a finesse linebacker. I think he could be good in coverage. So I'm going to go 6th round pick, but he's not good in coverage yet, I don't think. So how excited can we get? So that's going to do it for this group of linebackers. Starting tomorrow, we're going to open up with tight end, which I understand is not going to be a very compelling position for Seahawks fans this year. So we're going to blow through that quick. I can't even try to sell that on to you guys, but we're going to do it, and I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. Everyone have a great rest of your evening.